that it's not really that, huh?
Yeah, don't take it too terribly seriously because it's normally
Yeah.
not that big a deal. They just want to vent.
Generally, yeah, like that's generally a thing. Never mind, we'll watch now. Hi. Oh, and I'm also going to look into dual streaming and all that other stuff. So
Oh,
I
good.
will finally learn voice meter, even though I've had it on my computer for a while, and I'll fix that up. And I always feel bad because I just like to bitch and complain. It's a fun pastime for me. And then everyone,
that's kind of what my whole channel was started out over. So I mean, I get. Trust me, I get that.
yeah. So it's just I always feel bad because they're like, "Well, we got to change this now." I'm like, I'm just bitching and complaining, and then they go out of their way to change like little things I bitch and complain about. So after a while, they're like, "Well, you bitch and complain about anything. We won't fix anything." And then there are other things I complain about that I actually do feel more. Yeah.
But the other thing about it too is this is the way you got to understand. That's how men are built, though, right? If you come to us with a problem, our job is to solve it, right?
Damn it.
That's why it's generally good for females to have female friends because you can just bitch and vent to them. Because if you do that to a man, he's gonna be like, "Okay, here's your solution. This is how you fix it." And sometimes you don't want a solution. Sometimes you just want to vent and let it all out. But most men are stupid, and we don't ever understand that. And even when even this is somebody going that I understand this on a logical level, it is still really hard for me to overcome that. You know what I mean? Whenever my spouse
like,
comes to me complaining about something, I'm like,
no.
yeah, I want to fix it, right? I
don't
want to fix this,
fix it. I just want you to listen.
I know. That's what it is. It's like every time, like she's like just complaining about the job and everything else, and I'm like, and I just want to be able to get the channel big enough to where she doesn't have to work anymore. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so it's like, it's just like that's like, and it frustrates me because I'm like, and it's like I get it. Like I know you're just bitching, but like at the exact same time, and I did get better about that. As far as just like when you come home and you just need to vent, just sit there and listen for a little while and shake my head. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's the best thing you can do with a woman when she's like flipping her lid and like freaking out over shit. It's like, okay, just pacify them until they calm down and then find out if they were actually serious or if they're just venting. Because they'll tell you most of the time, if they're a decent person, they'll tell you if they were just venting, if you actually really needed to change things.
But that's the problem, nerd. I'm not a decent person. I'm a terrible person.
That is true. You are an evil, rotten, no good, dirty scum.
Scum
on toast, eating Nagranol. I don't know why I brought Nagranol into this, but that was just, I was going to go Neanderthal, but I'm like, she really doesn't have quite that big of a forehead to go Neanderthal.
Well, I do have Neanderthal in me, so.
Well, most of us kind of do. I mean, that's kind of one of those things like everybody. That's like saying, yeah, wolves. That's like saying, my wolf here, my great Colorado wolf here has some canine in him. Well, no shit. They all were like banging and stuff, like that's why it's like, have you heard the argument over like they brought the dire wolf back, right? And the whole argument is that, well, it's not a pure dire wolf. Well, by what definition do you mean pure dire wolf? You mean the dire wolf that we found and you guys call a dire wolf by their bones from 6,000 years ago that we got DNA on? Or the one from 35,000 years ago that we got DNA on? And guess what? Both of them are not identical.
Yeah.
So it's such a semantic argument, but it's like, yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, we all got a little bit of that in us.
Like,
it's just like pretty much like every island or South American race out there has a bit of Spanish in them. Like all the Chinese, I mean, like that's what happens.
Or like, all the Chinese have some Mongolian in there because of Genghis Khan, and everyone has Spanish in them because the Spaniards are fucking horny as fuck and witch everywhere.
I conquer this land. Damn, you a hot native. You my wife now.
We'll have a sex and you will speak my language. I remember a comedian doing that.
Dude, that's just gold. And it's so funny too, because it always is that way too. That's like, especially when you look back at history and they're like, oh, those evil conquistadors or those evil conquesting folks out there. And then it's like, yeah, they showed up to the place that they conquested, quote unquote. And it's like, and then they showed up single and left with a wife. I'm like, yeah, they were really there just because they hated those brown people and they just wanted to enslave them all. It's like they married them and turned them into Christians. Like,
well, some of them did. Some of them they did.
I know, not all of them. Obviously, there's bad apples and there.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's like, it's just like when they want to paint a broad brush over everybody, it's just like, come on, give me a break.
It was actually interesting when they went into Cortez. Like they had the one lady that was that played as his translator. Um, he did really like her. He didn't marry her, but he got her a good.
All right.
He made sure he got her a good husband. I think it was like one of his XOs or something. He would have hooked her
Yeah.
ass up with. So
Well, it's
he
like the
made
same
sure she was
things.
taken care of.
Sacagawea helped Lois and Clark out, and I think she ended up marrying one of the guys in the party, if I remember correctly.
What? She was
I
walking
could
around
be
with
wrong.
a baby. Where her hubby at?
Oh, well, then never mind. Maybe not. I could be wrong. You know what? I'm probably thinking of Pocahontas. That's what I'm thinking of. I got the two confused.
Pocahontas.
She ended up marrying a white boy.
Yeah. After John Smith, I believe, sort of accident happened to him, and they sent his ass back. She did go over and
Well,
get married to another dude.
And obviously, it's like Disney very much embellished a lot more of what happened in that story than what actually happened. Because they needed to make a love story, and you get your princess and your prince, and so obviously they significantly embellished that story from historical accuracy.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing: like, of course they did, because you still need to have entertaining. It's a story for fucking kids, so
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's great. All right. We've wasted enough time. We're already late. Let's get.
Have we?
Have we? Well, I mean, we never have. Have we ever truly wasted enough time?
Are we ever on time? Is more my question.
No, dude. I thought I was gonna be on time for the Bible study today, and then it was like everything that I was trying to do at the last minute just taking longer and longer and longer. And that's normally how it goes. I'm like, yay, I'm gonna be on time. I got plenty of time. Nope. Never happened.
No.
Something.
That's actually why I'm whenever everyone asks to like, just maybe knock it down to one episode, just because. Just like we turn a single episode into a fucking marathon.
Well, it's like, we'll take 2 episodes and turn it into like a 5.5 hour show. Like, it's like,
I can't keep doing this, nerd. I can't.
Well, I know. Well, the other problem is we always end up having so much to talk about, and then just like every other nerd out there in the world, we go off on a tangent in the middle of something. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we should probably get back to reviewing this show.
Oh fuck, yeah, right. Doctor Who.
Ah. Yeah, that's right. Doctor Who, that's right.
In the heart of the cosmos, where time and space collide, the Doctor and his TARDIS forever to glide. From the streets of London to the far edges of space, with Rose, Martha and Donna, through time they chase. Daleks and their fury, Cybermen, steel and cold, the mysteries of Bad Wolf, stories untold. To the planet of New Earth and the fires of Pompeii, through the shadows of the vast and their they find their way. Back when who was good, those were the days. Adventures through time, a wondrous haze. The Doctor and his companions, a tale so grand. In the show where the universe was at their command, Jesse, the common nerd with a vision so bright, guiding through the episodes into the night. The Maiden sunk her with insights to unveil, and MrGrantGregory with lore to irrigate. Back when who was good, those were the days. Adventures through time, a wondrous haze. The Doctor and his companions, a tale so grand. In the show, a universe was at their command. From the Battle of Canary Wharf to the end of time, where heroes and legends in their prime. A Sakurax invasion and the last Dalek stand, with the Doctor at Capaldi and undone. Back when who was good, those were the days. Adventures through time, a wondrous haze. The Doctor and his companions, a tale so grand. In the show
So, all of time and space, everything that ever happened or ever will, where do you want to start?
Is that too loud? How's everybody doing tonight, boys and girls? Lady, what?
You sound a little too fast.
What do you mean I was going a little bit fast? Going a little bit fast on what?
No, you cut the video off a little bit too soon. But
I didn't do that. I have no ability over that. That's Rumble Studios. It's probably a glitchy part on your end. Everybody in the chat probably saw it just fine. And now look how we're opening the show. Good job, Sunker. Good job. Couldn't have used the private chat. Couldn't have possibly said something after the show was over. No. Our well-calculated, well-planned out, well-rehearsed, well-used stream. She's got to just start it off and interrupt everything else. That's Sunker Maiden for you, ladies and gentlemen.
you too.
How are we doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another wonderful edition of When Who Was Good, boys and girls? Question mark? Because this is the final season of Doctor Who. This is the one that everybody that had any brain in their head whatsoever checked out. I unfortunately wasn't one of those fools. I continued on one season after this, but that was as far as I went, just because I had to give it a shot. But ever since then, boys and girls, yeah, this has been pretty much consistently considered one of the most hated seasons. Now, given I did not despise this season as much as of a lot of people, I think it's because I mostly just remember all of the really, really effing good parts and some of the epic speeches we get out of Capaldi. And you know what? It's one of those things. I know this season does get worse as it goes on. That's something we've talked about since the very first episode, because we liked the first episode of this season. It was surprisingly well done. So if nothing else, at least it's not as bad as what a lot of us remember it to be, or maybe not as bad as what it was hyped up to be. Now, that being said, given by the time we could get into this, and by the end of it, we might think completely and totally different. But as of right now, we're 2 episodes in, and so far, it hasn't been that bad. But speaking of things that aren't that bad, Sunker, what did you think? I mean, are we right? Am I right about that so far?
It's not bad. The first episode, we actually were very complimentary towards it, except for how they just dressed the newest companion, which was, she looks fucking ridiculous. Her eyebrows are fucking ridiculous. Yeah, the second one, I actually did like the idea of it, but it was just that little, it felt like a dick out of nowhere to where it felt like there were 2 different stories at once. And that was because I was drinking too much last time. I couldn't fully explain. That's what my main problem was. There's no clear through line. It felt like a hospital story that's similar to the Amy Pond one, and then they replaced it with another story towards the end, and it didn't feel very cohesive.
Yeah. No, I can understand that. I think there definitely wasn't enough. Like, I think you should. I think one of the problems with the episode was, part of it is, I think you wait too long through the episode to find out that there's a bunch of people in cryostasis, right? Yes. Because you don't get, like, we should have seen somebody pop out of cryostasis, like, because we already knew that some random people opened up early, right? We find out by the end of the episode that the kid woke up earlier than everybody else, right? So there could have been some glitches. There could have been some haywire stuff. And one of the first things we should have seen is somebody waking up from cryos. I mean, that would have been a great, like, Spielberg opener, right? Mm-hmm. Have somebody wake up from cryo sleep, go, hey, what's up with our little bot? Hey, where's everybody else? What's wrong? Why are you walking at me like, why are you looking at me like that? Where is everybody? Where is it? Why isn't everybody waking up on time? And then he starts freaking out, or he's upset or whatever like that. And then all of a sudden
his face would be changing, and then you would see the faces start to change on the emojis as a hint.
Yeah, and then you just see a blank screen, and you can either hear somebody scream or not, right? And I think that would have helped out a lot more, because it would have made it to where I think the characters that were in that situation where it was like a kill or be killed kind of situation because of these crazy emoji bots, right? It's one of the things, like, you would have understood where they were coming from a little bit more. Because instead, you just have to jump right into caring about them because they're human, and the story tells you need to care about them. There's no
Yeah.
bond. There's no buildup. There's no, other than the people we already saw killed, right? That were already there. We don't know anything about these people that are in cryo sleep. And we don't find anything about that until probably, I would say, almost, if not half, almost 2/3 of the way through the episode before you finally find out everybody in cryo sleep. And that's just way too late to give you all that kind of threat. So I think a lot of that is the setup's really good. Like some other stuff we've seen, the payoff just wasn't well paced out enough.
Yeah. So it's, and actually this is what kills me, is like, this is the Who I kind of wanted and that I lost out on when Matt Smith's era went through. Everything was an overarching story to where the episode plot really wasn't as important as the overarching story, as according to Moffat. So that's what kills me, is like, I want to like these. And I think the funniest thing was when I'm like, man, this episode's good. I don't know why people dislike this episode. And then it just did the entire flip.
Yeah, and then it always goes. It literally just takes a nosedive right off a cliff. So yeah.
But to your point, you are seeing this. You were absolutely seeing the episode for its merits. So
yeah,
and I was a bitch. So that's.
She was also really, really smackered. But it's one of those situations where I think that's the nice part about going back and reviewing this and watching it together, because we can look at it with a little bit more analytical eyes, right? Especially considering, I mean, you and I have been, this show we've been doing for God, it's got to be probably been almost 2 years by now, right?
Have it?
Oh. Yeah, it's got to be somewhere around there. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the dates.
No wonder I look older all the time, and my newer.
But anyway, it's definitely give us, well, and it gives us a lot better to be more objective about this kind of thing too, because obviously it's just like anything else. The more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it, right? You know what I mean? And so it's one of them situations where hopefully, you know, we've gotten a lot more critical, and I think we've gotten a lot more critical, but we've also gotten to where we're not knee-jerk reacting to everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Not everything's automatic. Like, we didn't throw all of Creature Commandos under the bus because of the fucking Sons of Themyscira. Right. What were the Sons of Themyscira, which were obviously a dig at, you know, alternative right-wing basically free-thinking culture. You know what I mean? And so it's like, we didn't throw the whole show out. The whole show was bad for a myriad of other reasons. You know, and I think that's, if anything, I think it's a better way to do things. So.
Which kills me, by the way, because as soon as you were explaining what the Sons of Themyscira, who they actually were, I'm like, wait, that's actually really cool. That's a really amazing story that's fairly unique. And they only turned it into, like, my man. First, like, it was a bastardization of story, and that's actually why. I think that's why we do this as well. And we're also kinder. We're not just like analytical assholes, because we are retarded fucks. So, because remember the one episode everyone says is the worst episode is like that second Slovene episode, and we watched it again. We're like, wait a minute, this is actually quite nice and quite sweet, and it's not that bad.
Grant said it was the only bad episode in that entire season. And by the time we got to the end of it, he went, well, shit, I guess there aren't any bad episodes in this season. We're like, ah!
Because I think we get for granted, because now that I'm thinking more and more about it, it's not just about the Slovene lady, it's about the strong relationship. I think that's one of the few episodes we get to see the strong relationship between Jack, the Doctor, and Rose, as well as Rose's relationship falling apart. And we just forgot about all the character development, and also how amazingly competent the Doctor is. We don't get that a lot. That's actually what my biggest complaint was with the last season, is we have not been allowed to see the Doctor be competent. We're seeing him be more competent now, so they tried to start fixing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just he was already on the way out at this point, and it wasn't his choice. You know what I mean? He wanted to be around for much longer than this. And so it was one of them situations where it's like, yeah, that's the unfortunate part, is we would have got, if the showrunners wouldn't have changed, if the Doctor wouldn't have changed, would we have still gotten some of the roll your eyes stuff that we all get really angry about? Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, we would have probably gotten a competent Peter Capaldi Doctor? Probably so. in a lot of episodes, more often than not, anyway, based on what we've seen so far. You know what I mean? So so that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, you know, hindsight's 2020 and you can't go back, you can't go home again, right? So it's one of them
Even though
situations where
sometimes you really wish you could.
oh, I know. It definitely would make it easier if you could. That is very true. But other than that, Sunker, how the hell you been? How's your week going?
Ah,
Everything else?
um,
How was your 4th of July? Did you get out and do anything fun?
I went over. I bought. Don't tell anyone. My parents don't watch this anymore because I embarrass them. But I went over, so now I can go over and say how much I spent on fireworks. I went over and
Hell
spent
yeah.
150 on
There you go.
fireworks, and it was a
Yeah.
good hefty amount.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it was 250. Fuck. It
Ah,
was the
okay.
bigger box. And so
Ah,
I,
gotcha.
I was planning on being a loser and just sitting in my driveway and just setting them off and just having me sit there alone. And then my sister called and I went over to her house. It was very fun. Well, I won't lie. I wasn't feeling that great because um I didn't get that much sleep the night before. I was sorting a lot of stuff out, and
Right.
my sister said, "Like, you look gray. Are you okay? Why do you look like you're about to cry?" I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I'm just tired."
There you
So
go.
it was one of those days, but it was nice to do the fireworks and stuff, and it was also funny because I ended up being like always. I usually end up being in charge of firework duty because I'm like, we got a lot of shit we need to go through. Let's get started. And
Right.
they're always like, "Oh, you're playing with fire." As I don't immediately start running away once I light the fuse. So I just like light it, get up, walk my way because I you can kind of tell the timing when you start lighting fireworks and stuff.
Yeah, depending on which one it is, especially if you've lit more than one. It's one of them situations where, well, one of the same kind. You know what I mean? There was some there were some firecrackers we got on Friday. Them fuses made me a little nervous how short they were. I didn't have any
Oh dear.
problems, but they were shorter than what I prefer on my firecrackers. So
Dude, they were some of them were like overtly glued. It was a pain in the ass to fucking get the stupid fucking glue off, and it was also
oh
affecting
yeah,
how quickly it burned as well. So it's just like, God
yeah.
fucking damn it. But overall, I had fun. Did a lot more squats than I planned on doing, and I was wearing heels when I went over to my sister's house. So imagine this: me in heels, lighting fireworks, and then slowly walking away as they start going off.
So literally, it's like every big major action scene, right, where the cool guys have to walk away because cool guys don't look at explosions, right?
A
Yeah,
little
Snooker
bit.
was literally pulling that one during 4th of July.
And
Except she had to
mostly,
turn around and look at it because, you know, it's not
yeah,
cool explosions, it's fireworks. Yeah, so.
yeah.
And she paid for that shit, so you want to watch it. Oh, that's fucking
But yeah,
great.
mine was fun. How are you, nerd? I'm remembering to
No,
ask about how people are doing because I'm an asshole.
no, it's all right. Not too bad. But yeah, just got a lot going on. But no, 4th of July was good. Wasn't feeling too hot stomach wise, but other than that, we had a lot of fun with all the fireworks. And everything else. We found a spot that was one of they said cheapest fireworks in the area because we couldn't find the stand we were looking for. So we just found the next one that was closest to grandma's house. And so we did that. And then and I spent about, I was looking to spend $150. And I think I didn't spend like 142. But yeah, we got some really nice fountains and stuff like that. And of course, a bunch of smoke bombs for the kids and the firecrackers and, you know, the tanks and the little chickens and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, the kids really enjoyed it. Got my daughter to play with Got this year, Bubbles played with her sparkler all on her own this year for the first time. So she got to do a
Oh,
couple of those. Yeah, last year she played with a lightsaber because she was too scared of the sparklers. This year she finally got into the sparkler. So that was cool. So yeah, had a pretty good time. Lots of pretty stuff. And then of course the drive home's 45 minutes and it's just fireworks the whole way home. You know what I mean? So it's just like, all you gotta do is look left or right. If you hear an explosion, it's just doosh, you know? So yeah, overall it was a pretty good time. It was a pretty good time, but yeah. Yeah. So, all right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I'm going to say hi to all of you out there in the chat first here in a second, but I have to tinkle real quick because we've been talking for way too long. So I'm going to leave
oh
Sumter here
dear.
all alone and let her say hi to
Oh
you guys out
dear.
in the chat here in a second. I'll be right back to formally say hi.
His wee man's bladder cannot go over and keep him. Hello, chat. How are you doing? Let me go over and see if he has given me the ability to highlight things. Rumblebot, hello. Okay, I can go over and start saying hi to people. I'll scroll the way up, and then he'll go over and do it. John Washburn, hello, or Burn. I will get names right eventually. But hello, we'll watch now. Glad to see you here. Grim! Good to see you too, you bastard. Give me back my teapots. I actually do have to start getting back into tea drinking. Bestest streamer ever, says this eccentric. Don't lie. You just saw what happened. He yelled at me and was quite mean. Moving on. Shadow Warden, holy neon. What? I'm guessing I went over and accidentally opened up my window again. Apologies for that, but I'll go over and fix it. Going on. Kaio Saber, I've walked into something. Oh, just me bitching. I bitch all the time. People always take it too seriously, and when they don't realize I just talk and change my mind constantly. Moving on. Spartacus! This is one of my disliked episodes of 10th season. This is where they began to pushing the history was always diverse from the BBC. Yeah, I was waiting for those to start coming in. It's just they usually try to like pepper it into certain places, and then they start peppering it in a little bit more, and then you find they went over and doused the entire fucking plate in pepper, and they're like, "Well, we always used pepper." Like, well, not quite like this. I use the food analogies a lot. I try not to go over and get too hungry. Shadow Warden 99! I most likely am blowing out everyone's ears and making this intolerable, and I do apologize for that. Not all South Americans have Spanish DNA in them. WW2 German regions, and Chile and Argentina, and Confederate colony of America. I do remember reading about that. One thing I did read about, like, it wasn't a unified experience, the settling of the Americas. It really much depended on which colony you ended up in. In Florida, it fucking sucked. It was the worst. Everyone fucking hated to be in Florida, but in other places, it was like the northern one the German ones, they're like, this is fucking awesome. Could just walk by, grab an apple, just farm. It's awesome. So that's that. Hello, welcome back from Tiny Blatter Man.
I know. Well, I practically chugged 2 of these tea things earlier because this is a new experiment I'm trying this evening.
Me too.
So I made a batch of it this afternoon. So I got 2. This is my second one, and we might find out if it works tonight or not. I don't know. It seems like it might be.
I'm gonna go get my second jug. So
yeah, by all means, have at it. By all means, have at it. Let's see here. Where were we at? The clap is a bit loud. Well, I mean, that's why you don't get the clap. But no, I turned it back. I turned it down a little bit. Thank you, Garbage Patriot Nerd. I love that. That's just a paddle hitting his target. 1,000 strikes to say it was Saber. That is freaking great. And oh yeah, from the FYI too, we've got Corpus Christi Comic Con next week, and Catherine and I are doing Nightwing and Starfire. So we already got her Starfire costume and everything else taken care of. We still need to get hair dye for her, which is going to be about $50. My costume's about $50. And then, just for some overall things. So goal of tonight is like $200. Unless you guys want to see Common Nerd get swole like Nightwing at some point. And then I found a bench. I found a bench and weights on the Amazon, which is about $250 too. So we can, whatever you guys want to do tonight. But yeah, if we can at least do the $200 and get for all of the stuff I need for the cosplay and everything else to finish that off this week, that would be wonderful. And then next Thursday night, we'll donate to spending money at Comic-Con this weekend. But yeah, that was just something I wanted to remind everybody about, because I know we normally talk about that, and I meant to do that earlier. My bag does. But good to see you, Grim. Good to see you guys. Kaio Saber, getting in the cannon now. If I don't make it tell my story. I love that. Oh, make a jaw slack. That is great. Dodge's anticipated hex spell. I love that. Shadow Warden 99. Oh, that is great. She has hit accuracy. Oh, yeah, there you go. I feel that. Yeah, I'd be scared too. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely hilarious out there. There you go. Yeah, that's what I figured, Grim. I figured you were feeling pretty good. Well, I'm hoping if this tea ends up working out, I'll be right there with you pretty soon, brother. We're gonna find out tonight. We're gonna find out tonight. Your average Patriot nerd. Chair is always plotting, planning, and preparing. That's right. And laugh you fool, Grim, aka Anvac. I see you over on Kick as well. Don't think I'm not seeing you. Don't think I'm not seeing you, man. All right, Spartacus. You started these watches back around January last year. Okay, cool, Spartacus. Cool. So yeah, it's been a year and a half then. It's been a year and a half. Good to know. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Confirms Serenity walks all the way through the explosion with dramatic and cool effects. That's right. That is right. Yes, she does. Oh, this eccentric. What's up, buddy? Her knows the best rides. Oh, and yeah, and Spartacus checked it out for us. We started these about around January of last year. So we've been going for about a year and a half.
Oh, fucking hell. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I know. We missed that one. We should have looked. We should have. I'm so bad about paying attention. I can barely remember my kids' birthdays, let alone any anniversary to anything else.
Same.
So
no,
yeah.
Well, fucking hell. No, it's when you got a poor drunk sunker that just wanted to try to do her best.
That's right. That is right. Oh,
now you got this disgruntled sunker that's just
yeah, just burnt out and angry. No, the neon white comment was about your picture in the thumbnail, sunker. Yeah, because she won't send me. She keeps forgetting to send me better pictures.
Fuck. I want to make sure I'm wearing makeup and shit like that. Hello, Diz the G's.
Diz the Jizz. What's up, Diz? Good to see you, buddy. Scotland tried to set up a colony in South or Central America, New Colonia, but it failed because of the massive debt they were in. They agreed to merge with England. Ah, there you go. There you go. And yeah, obviously I was being generalistic. Freaking, who was that pointed that out very specifically? Obviously, it was generalistic. Oh, but yes, bestest chair indeed. There you go. Officially to form the Kingdom of Great Britain or the Act of the Union under the region of Queen Anne. No, there you go. John Washburn, there you are. Melissa Smith, good to see you. Hello. I guess Sunker Maiden's clock doesn't work. No, I don't believe it does.
Well, not after I bashed my head and broke it. Especially not after that. It was just during a really stupid part of Doctor Who. I don't remember what stupid part, but it was so stupid. I slammed it so hard that you heard a crack, and I'm like, fuck.
You really did, and it was quite hilarious. But I don't know. You got any of you guys out there in the chat might remember which episode it was, but yeah, that one was something else. That one was something else. Oh, that is great. Hey, there's Diz over on the Rumble side too. Yeah, as always, boys and girls, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the Rumble at the beginning of me saying hi to all of you, or us saying hi to all of you guys out in the chat. Obviously, join us over on Rumble at the Common Nerd. Over on Rumble, no S, just the Common Nerd. Join us over on Rumble, and you get to watch the full show because of all their silly little, all that kind of very silly enough stuff. Optimistic Realizer, what's up, buddy? Says what's up, magnificent Common Nerd and wonderful Miss Sunker Maiden. We saw the lovely Miss Drunker Maiden last week. Yes, we did. We did.
That was on top of a whole bunch of other shite that was going on that day. That was a very bad day.
Hey, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't feel bad either. Look at this. This is I don't remember the episode, but I remember being here. See, there you go. There you go. He knows how it is.
Are we all just fucking alcoholics? Everyone who's on this chat?
Not all of us. There's a few of us out there in the chat, and then we've got some potheads out there, and then we've got some straight shooters. And so it's like, no, not everybody. Not everybody.
Most of the street shooters,
unfortunately enough,
for you.
Right? Yeah. Unfortunately enough, thank the Lord for that. Not that is not the case. But yeah. All right, boys and girls. Like I said, join us over on Rumble. Direct donations are a great way to support the channel tonight. Obviously, we've got Dancing Baby, Dancing Sunker videos, all that kind of fun stuff we can play. Got horrific videos of Sunker making out with lizards. Her head twisting around, but you know what? It all goes to our good cause, boys and girls, because we're trying to make sure we should look snazzy at Comic-Con next week, or this coming weekend. And I already checked it too, so both the Nightwing outfits I looked at, both of them are 1 to 2 shipping. You'd be surprised how few of those there actually are out there, especially ones that even look halfway decent. It makes me kind of sad.
That and the cosplay, it's for Cat's cosplay.
No, not tonight, because you weren't here listening when I talked about it. You went and got water. Tonight is for mine. She's Starfire. I've got to get my Nightwing costume.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I got a Nightwing costume.
I heard she, and I was like, oh wait, no.
No. Tonight's for the Nightwing. No, tonight's for my part of that. So she's already got her cosplay and all that kind of stuff. The only thing we got to get her for is hair dye. So we're trying to hit like $250 tonight, unless everybody wants to go ahead and pay for my weight bench now, so I can actually look like proper Nightwing next year. Because I already got one of those picked out, and that's about $200 on. So we can do a $400 goal tonight, $500 goal tonight, just a $250 goal tonight, whatever we want to do. But yeah, that's what we're working on. Grim says, I heard my title. That's probably true. Songwriter Maiden got so mad with the doctor that she broke time. Hey, that's a good one. Your average patriot nerd. I like that. That is great. All right, boys and girls, let's get at tonight for our little tease for everybody over there on YouTube. Tonight is season 10, episode 3, Thin Ice. And I vaguely remember this one, and it might just be from the fact that we watched a little bit of the trailer last week. So we're going to check out the beginning of this, and then we are going to jump over to full-time Rumble, boys and girls.
This just shows how old I am. I see Thin Ice, and I'm like, I went back to the bad dubs, the bad dubs people on YouTube. Is like, very thin ice, very thin ice. They would go over and make songs out of what people were saying.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that one. But I do remember. Obviously, you're skating on thin ice. That's the saying. It's been around forever. But yeah, no, I don't remember that. Sarah Dollar had the idea of her story first involving London's Frost Fairs. Well, this isn't the first time we've been to a London Frost Fair. Ooh. Her friend Lily Wilkinson had researched the Frost Fairs for her 2007 fantasy novel Scatterheart, and Dollard saw an appeal in an event which brought together all the strata of London society. All right, there you go.
Oh, dear. Well, we actually... to go over and go back as what someone over said, like there was always diversity. They already were trying to push that in the previous season, where we're like, how many fucking black people are in this European fucking village in the middle of nowhere?
Right. Or it's like, why is the entire crew all Indian?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and the deaf chick, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's like they're trying to do English version of diverse, which is like basically like Indians and Muslims now. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's what they're going to push and see all the time. Basically, anybody that doesn't look English is really what it's going to come down to.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we like, you already saw that in the casting in the last season with some of the girl bosses and like the deaf chick, right? That was a prime example with her. So yeah, it's like, if you thought that they were doing that before, no, it was way worse before. It was way worse before. Well, I mean, they've already been doing it. Is that what? Because we pointed that out. We've been pointing that out the last couple of seasons that they've been doing that stuff for a minute now.
Just, you can get fucking comedy and so much more interesting stories just by taking different people from Britain and dropping them in together, just like different walks of life and dropping them in together. Kind of like if you went to someone in New York, grab them, go somewhere in Boston, and grab someone from New Jersey and throw them all together, you're gonna get something.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's always been so ridiculous. Then that's how you know it's surface level, because True Diversity would have been bringing people together from different economic statuses. They just see it. They just see it as skin color. So
yeah, and. It's circus type.
Well, and if you remember from the very end of that last episode too, this is what they walked out into. Was this? Yeah, this is what they walked out into at the end of the last episode.
I don't remember. I was too drunk.
Yeah,
which is why I'm drinking water.
All right, I feel you on that one. I got my tea. This episode takes place from February 4th to February 5th, 1814, and in 2017. Hey, there you go. Yeah, England might not look English in the near future. Boy, ain't that the truth, your average Richard nerd. Lord help him.
It was really fun. A fun thing the companions got to do, where they got to dress up in time period stuff.
Well, we only saw that happen a couple of times. Even in New Who, the majority of the time, the companions went back in time not wearing anything different. Right, we saw that happen with Donna in Greece, or Pompeii. We saw Rose do that once when they went back to Victorian times in that Ghost episode. But when they went back to Shakespeare, Martha didn't change when she went to Shakespeare time.
Oh, wait, no, damn it!
She was wearing her leather jacket.
I thought she was wearing the outfit. You're right.
Nope, never saw that with her. Outside of Amy having to dress up and go be, go be her fiance's sister. In that one part, that was the only time we saw her change clothes there. So I mean, it's not, it's cool to see and it does happen, but it's not consistent. It doesn't happen every time. And it happens less often than it does.
It happened with Rose a second time. Remember when she went over and she dressed 50s for date night? What we were calling date night.
Yeah, that was that English episode where like all of the bombing or whatever was going off. No, they were having. I don't remember what that one. I know what you're talking about.
It was the which when face snatching when.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it's not like it's cool to see, but it's definitely not something that happens like every time, not by a long shot.
But I would have enjoyed it.
Oh no, trust me, I love Victorian get up, so I would never complain about seeing that, especially when the female companions are actually attractive. So yeah, I do love that unsuccessfully most of the time.
That's actually almost a callback a little bit to Doctor Who. Old Who was when the Doctor and one of his companions go into the box, like, Doctor, what are you doing there? It's like, mostly argue, and close the door.
That's true, and that's not wrong either. Spartacus says Rose dressed up during the 50s for the Magpie, the episode with Charles Dickinson, and then also would dress up when they met Queen Victoria. So there you go. So that was 3 times.
She was naked. Very underdressed.
She was?
No, she was very underdressed.
Before she went to see the Queen. Yes, she was very underdressed. That's a good point. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right, Grim. It doesn't look English today. Grims has got a problem with New Jersey, i.e. West Coast roaster? Probably. Yes. I have no idea what he means by that, but yes.
She's a bad girl.
Did you ever show over the Peter Cushing Doctor? Peter Cushing. Yeah, we'll probably go over the. That's the American film, right?
No, Peter Cushing's the alternate one. Did he ask about that again? I already said we were going to do that. Yes. Okay, I'm not seeing it in the chat. But yeah, no, I already said we were going to do that one. But yeah, that one's not canon. That one's like a little special that they did. No, the American Doctor was the one that we saw on the Night of the Doctor, who turns into the War Doctor. Yeah, Paul McGann.
Oh God, I'm bad.
Paul McGann is the American Doctor. Yeah. But yeah, no, we were gonna do. That's the plan, to do that one. Yeah, absolutely. No, 1814 in England. That would very much still be a slavery era. That's 1814.
Yeah. It was
because I don't remember what year it was in England, but I know it was like mid-30s. I know it was I think it was before the Civil War, I think, but it wasn't until. But it was still like later than that. I thought it was like 1830s, 1840s, or something like that when they did it. What's up, Penguins girl?
It was different. It was very different in England versus America, because America had I don't have my history brain on and I'm rusty, so I'd just be talking out of my ass.
Well, let's not do that. Bankman's Girl says I got to use that neon white comment for chats on certain channels now.
You're positively glowing.
Right. But also at the exact same time, this was something that never got brought up with Martha. Right? Yeah. This is something no matter where they went in time and space. This is something even when they went in the past, right? Because they went and saw Homeboy. Shakespeare. So it's like this was never something that had to be brought up or talked about or brought to the Doctor's attention or anything like that. And not only on top of that, there was pretty much no point in history in the United States or in England where there weren't free blacks, right? Free blacks walking around. And actually, if you look at the statistics, prior to the Civil War, how many were plantation owners in the South? You'd be awful surprised. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get if this would be a great educational opportunity from the Doctor's perspective, right? If her with her, she didn't even actually go to college. She's just been hanging out and being tutored by him. So she hasn't gone to any history classes or anything like that, right? This would be a great example for him just to check her on that and go, you do realize there have always been free black people at during like all of this stuff, right? Like, just if you're worried about it, just stay with me. I'm the doc. It's going to be fine, And if he's got the psychic paper, if anybody gives him any crap, you know what I mean? And that's all you need. So it's like, it's one of them situations where it's like, this could have been a teaching experience versus hey, silly old doctor, did you forget that slavery was a thing? No, he's been through all of time and space. You don't think there's a planet in the entire history of the galaxy that hasn't had slaves at one point? Come on, man. So that, I think that's probably the part of it that irritates me the most about this situation.
Yeah, I just went over. I knew they went over and people are already. That's why I don't need to go over and look things up. The chat will tell me. So I do know that. I do know that they went over and bought out all the slavers, or slave owners.
Yep. So that's how they did it. Yeah, there you go. And what a wonderful picture for me to keep capture of Capaldi too. I mean, that's just
fucking hell, you bitch.
Right. That's exactly how he should feel. That's exactly how she should feel. Because she's like, it's got it likes a bit of trouble and it's got a wardrobe, which I mean, every Doctor Who companion likes a little bit of trouble. Like otherwise they wouldn't hang out with the Doctor.
Yeah, I think that was more of a lesbian thing, but we'll see.
Probably, but I don't ever remember. I would remember if that had happened during this season. We don't have that happen.
She got a little too close to the console.
And normally that's like on the down low, but low key could be a little different. I don't know. We could just be picking. We could be nitpicking, but that's okay. Hollywood's done it to us, so we can nitpick all we want. Here you go. The directions the Doctor gives Bill for the wardrobe are the same directions the Ninth Doctor gave Rose in the Unquiet Dead. There you go. I love consistently like that because that was one of Hartnell's things, right? And he would label all of the buttons, so they did the same thing every single time, right? So he never used a random button for something. It was consistent. He wanted that consistent every time. So that. Darth Dave, what's up, buddy? He says, hail, crazies. Hail, Darth Dave. Well, welcome to the crazies. Welcome to the crazies. Welcome to the crazies. William Wilberforce had a leaky role in the abolishing of slavery. Amazing Grace is a good movie on him. Hey, there you go. Good to know you're a Richard nerd. Thank you. All kinds of fun that. Hasha Appa!
Hasha Appa! Hey! He's one of my co-hosts. Oh. He plays Cursor in my Rise of the Rune Lords game. Hi, Hassel.
Oh, okay. There you go. There he is. Good to see a new face. Make sure you smash that like and follow button if you haven't already. It did come up a bit when Martha and Shakespeare, he asked the Doctor about his delicious blackamoor lady. Yeah, but that's like me personally, that's no different than saying, man, I got jungle fever. Did you see her? Damn. You know what I mean? Like, you want to walk on the darker side of things? I'm feeling like a little bit of dark chocolate. I mean, like that's how I look at that. I didn't think of it as like a negative way at all.
Yeah,
but no, I get what you're saying.
He didn't say it as a negative. He said it as a very complimentary thing.
He's like, my Nubian princess. Ooh la la.
Yeah, it was just part of the dialect that he was addressing. The skin color is different because everyone here is fucking pasty as fuck. So, of course, that's something that he would notice. But
oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, no, he's an artist and he's a creative, too. So he's going to be aware. He's going to be more observant of the world around him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a very good artist. So yeah, there you go. There you go. All the other doctors just said, go find something except Troughton. He just had that trunk. See, there you go. Backman's Girls got us covered. Backman's Girls got us covered. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's why they use the ladder. Jenny takes weekends off. Okay. I'll say, did you see the size of that swamp monster?
It's actually Nessie before it got to the Isles.
No, I think the Cthulhu. I think you were right. It might. Yeah, it's probably like Nessie's great grandmother before she got thinned out with the long neck or something. Yeah, dude. Holy cow. Yeah, that's something you don't want to be under the water diving and scuba diving and go, oh my God, what is that?
But I believe everyone's out on the ice because it's still So it's just like I would not want to be on there if all it takes to break through is a fucking basket.
Well, and I think that's part of the thing too. Is like it's one. The doctor said, this is like one of the last. This is like the last day of it before the ice was supposed to get too thin, and then everybody had to get the Hades off.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, I mean, this is one of the things where the River Thames used to freeze over for 3 months at a time. You know what I mean, or a month at a time, or something like that. And so it's one of them situations where it's like, yeah, I mean, that's just the way it was going to end up going. So, yeah, and of course, I mean, the episode was titled On Thin Ice. So where else was it going to go? You know what I mean? Where else was it going to go? So yeah, the last time the Thames was frozen over. There you go. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate everybody over on the YouTube side, but please come join us over on Rumble, so that way we don't get in trouble. Oh, yep. See, we're already getting yelled at by YouTube already.
Whee!
We're already getting yelled at by YouTube already. We let some of the clips play too long. So please, Zombie Box Reviews, Dead Punk Gage, Tug's social media manager. I see you guys over on here. I'll drop you guys a Rumble link. I see you guys over there. Appreciate you guys coming in. Smash that like button, boys. But yeah, come join us over on Rumble, Zombie Box Reviews. Come join us over there, Dead Punk Gage. The American version of the 1996 Paul McGann version was Eric Roberts as the master. There you go. Yep, we're gonna watch that one, Dead Punk Gage. We will watch that. Will you ever? Weird question, but will you ever chew over the Peter Cushing Doctor Who movies from back in the day? Oh, that's where you got that. That was from Dead Punk Gage. Okay, I didn't see that on my YouTube side. No, yeah, Spartacus has already found that for me, Gage, and we are gonna watch that. Yes, we
You
will.
want to watch
Sorry,
that after this season?
Yeah, that was the plan. We were gonna watch it after this season, I think. So yeah. But yeah, Zombie, good to see. Maybe back when time to put his slavery back because she's annoying. That's messed up. That's messed up. Yeah,
I was just gonna make another bad joke, but I'm like, I'm already going on thin ice. I have to remember not to make certain jokes. Boy, they might not land the way I think they will.
Oh, it happens to us all. So, all right. Sunker, tell you everybody over on YouTube. Bye.
Bye, YouTube.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. It's always a blast. We will see you later, YouTube. Let me see if I can get my screen back right over here now. There we go. Oh, that is wonderful. All right, now we've got this fabulous.
I drank your 2 jugs already. Fuck.
Nice. It's a good thing. It's good for you.